welcome to a new show. Da, 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 da. Welcome to The Burn, everybody! Where we are just going to be talking about controversial subjects or just subjects in general that we are going to talk in depth about. Today, joining me is Dayton.
Shotgun in the coolest car in the world.
And Toni.
Wait, what did you just say? Shotgunning the coolest gun in the...
I'm a shotgun in the coolest car in the world.
Oh my god. Well, I'm in the back seat where normally the best dog in the world is, so.
Alright, cool. Today's subject is, what class do you wish existed when you were in school? Kind of like what did you really want to learn? Like, what class do you wish existed in school?
Okay, so I was thinking seriously as well as funny in a different way. Which one would you like first?
I'm doing I like the funny one.
The funny one? Okay, I have a couple different ones.
Okay.
So, magic tricks.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, just a whole class on teaching
Yes.
people magic tricks
Yes.
and like party tricks. Like I
Yes.
can put stuff on my head and walk around, and people love that.
That would be a
crap.
great elective.
Yeah.
That'd be one of the best electives ever.
As well, it would make you more extroverted and teach you to be funny and communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it would be so much freaking fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
would love a magic class.
Party tricks in general, like I can... Like, I didn't get taught that at school. I met somebody that was able to do that and was able to...
I can't even whistle. I would have loved to.
Like, with your hands? Like...
Oh. Like the outlaw cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it.
Wait, how do you...
It's like, I don't know, you like cup your hands, you cup them like this, and you put them like this, and you blow. but better luck next time. Maybe maybe there should be a class for it, you know?
Maybe I can normal whistle.
I can't even whistle.
I can do that.
I don't know how to whistle.
What was your class that you chose?
So, okay, I think the obvious answer, it's probably the serious one that Toni was going to talk about, is just I call it like finances or economics of life. It's where they teach you about mortgages, car payments, or not necessarily just car payments, but going through loans for banks and stuff like that.
Basically like self-finances and how to like manage
your money. Yeah, because you can learn that in college, and you can obviously become or major in accounting or on whatever it may be. But there's nothing about it in high school, which is pretty unfortunate. And then I also think that there should be a course, class, whatever you want to call it, strictly based on educating teens about drugs, because they usually just throw it into like health class, and it's like a 2.5-week course.
You know, all they say is basically don't do drugs. These are different drugs.
Yeah, they'll
These
tell
are
you
their names. Don't do them.
But I think that there should be a specific class that they can go in depth about different forms of drugs, because kids are going to, I mean, we hear about high schoolers, I mean, overdosing on whatever drugs. I mean, that's where it all starts. So the more they're educated about it,
problem right now.
the opioid problem, and it's a lot of teenagers too that are victims of it. So yeah, I think that there should be a class dedicated to both of those things. They're usually just kind of thrown into, you know, other classes and courses.
Yeah, and it's not like focused enough on, because it's a bigger problem that we really can grasp. And I think that there are a lot of things that people really don't know about, like spice. Like if anybody ever offers you spice, do not fuck with that shit.
Yeah, don't fuck with spice.
Because you will die if you smoke too much of that shit.
God.
It'll make your heart just like
and it's hard to tell the difference.
It'll be a lot of anxiety. It's really crazy. I've definitely like come across spice before, and have seen people like throw up and like lay on the ground and can't like breathe and stuff like that. It's really crazy, and I feel like people should be more knowledgeable on those kind of...
It's just like with when they teach teens about sex too, and they say, you know, abstinence is the #1 thing that you should do.
Right,
they kind of say the same thing about drugs, and you should stay away from all drugs, which necessarily isn't true. And again, drugs and sex are a little bit different in terms of how old you should be when you should start doing either one of them. But the same principle applies as to where you can't just tell teens not to do these things, because that's going to want to make them do it more. You have to really educate them and show them the pros and cons of everything that goes into each of those things. So really, it's all about actually putting the effort forward and educating, instead of just saying, I don't actually do it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Because it's kind of like the theory where if you tell somebody not to do something, they're more likely to do it.
Exactly.
Like, it's like the pie theory, like the pie theory, where it's like, oh, like there's a pie in the window and mom told me not to eat it, so that therefore I want it even more.
Happy Pie Day, by the way.
Oh yeah.
3.14.
3.14.
Happy Pie Day.
Today's also Albert Einstein's birthday.
Today is also Albert Einstein's birthday. Rest in peace, Stephen Hawking, and it is National Student Walkout Day as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the kids walking out there. Ties perfectly into the subject. Did you have any?
Yeah, I was thinking about how I wish there was a class because there's psychology, but I would like people to understand and to be able to learn to manage their own emotions. Because I've kind of noticed that there's this rise of like depression in children, and like a lot of these kids having a lot of anxiety.
I guess kids can have depression as young as like 4 years old.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So like how are they supposed to like cope with that? And especially how like, at least I grew up, and a lot of other like kids my age, like boys growing up, they're always taught to like, oh, like don't cry, like don't be a bitch, you know, like hold all your emotions in and stuff like that, which is totally like fucked up, because you know, you're allowed to feel the way that you do, and nobody, even your parent especially, like shouldn't be telling you like don't feel that way, because you can't help the way you feel sometimes. And I think that adds into a lot of it.
I think it boils down to also, I 100% agree, and I also think it boils down to parents just, it's like the Will Smith song, man. Parents just don't understand adults, and I'm sure we'll realize this soon. We just have such different mindsets than when we were kids, and we can't really relate to them sometimes on some things, and it's unfortunate, but so I think in other words, we have to listen to the kids more and try to relate more to them.
And especially because our parents, at least, didn't start out with the internet, you know? The internet didn't exist, and all of a sudden it became a thing. And
it's such a key role.
For us, it was like the internet came out when we came out. Like we were born and shit like that.
Which I think is also another class, right? Just like internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Teaching internet to like...
And then like, it can be anything. Teaching them internet basics, teaching them the dangers of the internet, and like simple things to avoid so that you're not in, you know, sitting at your computer.
Also like how to not get viruses and simple things like that. Virus. They suck, honestly.
Yeah, no, they really do.
And they don't teach kids about like
LimeWire. That was bad.
Yeah, I mean LimeWire, Napshare. And then for like a non-serious one, I don't even know. I think just like, you know, like Spartans, they used to just like battle sword and shield in hand.
Oh my god, you like, want to teach children that?
Could you imagine like, well, if it was like a sport in high school that you could take, and then you could use the football field, and like it could be strategic, and like there could be a lot of rules. Like you could definitely develop rules around it.
Actual swords, obviously.
Yeah, because like if you look at the Olympics, a lot of the Olympic sports was created from like the Greeks, how they performed.
I thought survival tips would be a good, fun / serious one.
What do you mean? What?
Because it wasn't called the Olympics back then, but it was called something else.
Oh, I don't even. Yeah, you're right. I don't. No, I think it was called the Olympics. I'm pretty sure it's always been the Olympics.
Was it called the Olympics?
Yeah, because
the whole thing.
Mount Olympus. It's Mount Olympus, so I'm pretty sure it's been You could be right.
I don't know.
Google it if you really care.
Where's our research team? We got a research team on set?
No, we don't.
No? Oh, man.
Alright, Toni, what were you saying?
What about, like, I thought a funny / serious idea would be, like, camping / survival tips. Like, how to actually, like, make a fire. And, like, find food and, like, what's poisonous and what's not in your area.
Well, like, that's like,
I mean, they teach that in college.
I have no idea what poison ivy looks like, but I know that it's known for in the Northwest.
I think
3 leaves.
Yeah, 3 leaves. What's up? I hope you guys like that. This was an idea that I have thought about it for a couple of weeks, and I've been trying to get it together, and it was hard because our scheduling was so crazy, but I hope you guys like it. And if you do like it, I'm going to start doing this more with more people, or the same people. If you love these people, I'll have them back on. So this moment, I'll let my friends plug in their stuff.
I thought I was going to come here to eat hot wings, so I'm Dayton.
I'm Toni. You can check out my YouTube. It's Toni Amashala. It'll be in the bio. Can you put it there for me?
In the description. In the description box below.
I'm bad at YouTube. I'm very new to this.
Also, Disneyland video montage coming soon to the channel.